From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, April 5th. It is another cold start out there in the 30s this morning. The one bright side is not nearly as much rain out there. Maybe a raindrop here or there, but for the most part, it's going to be dry. And while there's going to be a bit of cloud cover, there is a chance for sunshine today. Highs will be the upper 40s. Family members, city leaders, and others are sharply criticizing a judge over the sentencing of Elliah Dorsey. He's the man who killed IMPD officer Breanne Leath in 2020 in a domestic violence call that ended in gunfire. A judge handed down the sentence yesterday. It's far less than prosecutors wanted. News 8's Colin Bailey has the decision and the reaction.
The sentence for Dorsey came from Marion County Judge Mark Stoner. Dorsey could spend 25 years in prison for killing Officer Leath, plus another 15 years on probation. He will get mental health treatment during the sentence, but that did not satisfy friends and family of Officer Leath. They had to join prosecutors in calling for the maximum sentence of 63 years in prison for Officer Leath's death. That happened on April 9th, 2020. Officer Leath's sister spoke directly to Dorsey during the hearing, and afterward, the officer's mother expressed her disappointment.
Truthfully, you aren't worth breathing the same air. You're lower than the dirt at this point. If you could survive being buried under the prison, that honestly would be the only thing that would honestly suffice.
Of course, we're upset about it. I feel like the judge basically, not really open season on officers, but he basically said to our city, you can assault officers or anybody for that matter, and you can claim some kind of depression or mental illness and walk away scot-free.
IMPD Chief Chris Bailey and Mayor Joe Hogsett also blasted the sentence for Dorsey. Chief Bailey said the sentence fails to deliver the justice that Officer Leath, her son, and her family deserve. Elias Dorsey himself took the stand as well. He pleaded for mercy, with the judge saying, "There's not enough sorries that I could say to anybody here in this courtroom." Dorsey will now have to follow strict rules for mental health treatment while he remains incarcerated. I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
IMPD plans a curfew crackdown starting tonight. It's part of the response to the weekend mass shooting that wounded a 12-year-old and 6 teenagers. A law is already on the books that says anyone under 18 cannot be out past 11 through the week. Those 15 and older can stay out until 1 in the morning on the weekends. Exceptions include work, school, religious activities, and emergencies.
It is our duty as parents, as adults, and as law enforcement to keep our children safe, alive, out of jail, and out of the cemetery.
IMPD says it will not arrest young people for breaking curfew, but will contact their parents or take them to a juvenile detention center if parents or guardians are not available. The Indiana Court of Appeals has upheld an order that blocks the state's abortion ban based on religious liberty, but it only applies to people involved in the lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed by the group Hoosier Jews for Choice. They argue the ban on abortion contradicts Jewish beliefs that say an unborn baby does not have independent rights from their mother. While the state's abortion ban remains in effect, the ruling means that women can join the lawsuit based on religious grounds. The ACLU of Indiana says this is not the end of the fight.
While today is a major victory and a recognition that religious rights are paramount under RFRA and are compromised by this law, the case is not yet final, and we'll have to see how things develop. But we're obviously very happy with the decision.
The lawsuit has not gone to trial yet. State Attorney General Todd Rokita has not said whether he will appeal this latest ruling to the state Supreme Court. A major store is closing at the Fashion Mall as part of an overhaul of the mall. Simon Property Group says Saks Fifth Avenue will close later this year, and a major redevelopment on the southeast side part of the facility will start soon after that. Simon says the makeover will add new stores, restaurants, and entertainment areas. No specifics, though, about which ones yet. The plans also call for a new outdoor plaza and office spaces. The Indiana State Sycamores and their fans are nursing heartache this morning after the team's quest for an NIT title came up just short at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Sycamores were up 7 with less than 3 minutes to go. Then Seton Hall roared back, going on a 9-0 run, capped off by a driving layup to take the lead. That left Indiana State 16 seconds to try to tie or win. An out-of-bounds play led to 3 quick shot attempts, none of which worked. punctuated by Ryan Conwell's long three-pointer that nearly buried, but it came up an inch or two short. Seton Hall wins the NIT championship 79-77. Indiana State coach John Schertz reflected on the loss.
Our guys, as they have all year, fought with everything they had, thought they, gave it everything they had. Obviously, heartbroken locker room. I think, that's the hard part of this is to be great at something, you have to put your entire heart and soul into it. And, when you come up short, it's difficult. To be great at anything, you got to be willing to have your heart broken. And our hearts are certainly broken tonight.
There was a memorable moment after the game. Seton Hall's coach lifted the chin of Sycamore center Robbie Avila, offering encouraging words, a handshake, and a hug. The Sycamores finish one win short of the school's all-time record. Purdue's Final Four run tips off tomorrow in Arizona, and our team is there today. Andrew Chernoff in Glendale, the host city of the games, with how the Boilers are feeling.
All is quiet right now, but things will be picking up in a few hours from now. This will be the site in that stadium behind me of the Final Four. Purdue, of course, in its first Final Four since 1980 in search of that first ever national championship. Fans who are making their way out here to the desert will actually be able to have a look at the Boilers later today. That's because the Boilers will be holding an open practice inside this arena behind me later today at 3 o'clock Eastern. Now, we saw the Boilers yesterday. They had a closed practice, but we saw them in the locker room as a lot of media members caught up with this Purdue team. Expectations so high, a lot of excitement with this team as well. Something sinks in with these players. Yes, it's a business-like approach, but it's pretty cool when you see your name next to the Final Four logo inside your locker room. And that was the message they all portrayed to us yesterday here in Arizona was it's a business trip, but this is pretty cool. And what a week it's been since beating Tennessee in the Elite Eight.
It's been unbelievable. Kind of glad being here. It's a little bit warmer, a little bit nicer. It's definitely nice not being done with these guys and just keep playing with them. These guys have put a lot of work in, and just seeing them being and making it to this stage is huge.
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround, but also it's been very fun. A lot of support from a lot of fans, a lot of good luck texts, a lot of people telling us they're coming out here. But we're looking forward to it, and we're up for the challenge.
It's been fun. It's been exciting. Obviously, the achievement that we've, accomplished as far as just getting here to this point. But we've practiced really, really difficult. Practice has been difficult. Practice hard, just because our goal's not finished yet.
The goal is not finished yet, indeed, and we will have much more coverage, of course, tonight, 6:30. It is All Access Indy. Dancing in the Desert. We will have you covered with the latest from here in Glendale, Arizona. We'll hear from the teams, including from Purdue's opponent, NC State. Also, we'll hear from the voice of the Boilermakers, Rob Blackman. He'll join us live at 6:30 for All Access Indy Dancing in the Desert.
We're counting down to Caitlin Clark possibly joining the Indiana Fever. 10 days right now. And the Iowa Hawkeyes are counting down the hours to their Final Four game against UConn. Iowa practiced yesterday in Cleveland. Clark talked about what it takes to focus for the Final Four.
Being here last year, you're not really prepared for everything that goes on outside of the game. There's so many distractions. There's so many events you have to attend. There's so many obligations that you have to do. And, your main focus is to come here, and you're playing in the biggest basketball games of your career. So I think being able to block all that out and really lock in and focus on what your job is and what you're here for, and, knowing we're not satisfied. So I think that's the biggest thing is soak all that in and enjoy it. But at the same time, this is business. We're here to win a basketball game and hopefully win two.
Tip-off for Iowa and UConn is at 9:30 tonight. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.